Hi guys, hope you're all well and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be looking at the Leica SL2-S. Now, I've been extremely lucky. Leica have been very kind and sent this to me for a review and to check out the SL system, because I've never checked out the Leica mirrorless system before. They've sent me a bunch of lenses. On here currently I've got the 28 Summicron SL2 spherical, and I've got many other lenses which I'm also going to do reviews on each of them for you guys, alright? But I just wanted to sort of do a quick roundup of my thoughts using the SL2-S, what I thought about the Leica SL system coming from my Leica rangefinder, and just basically a general chit chat about it. So without further ado, let's kind of get into it. I was really surprised of how sort of intuitive and I suppose technological this camera is. I know that might sound really strange to someone who's, like, you know, had a mirrorless system for a very long time. I've come from an era where, like, I'm using this now. This is my D800 I'm using to film. That is a digital DSLR. It was a DSLR. And then I've had my Leica rangefinders and film cameras and everything else in between. Mirrorless cameras, in my job, I'm very lucky to review and do, but personally I've never actually used one for a very long time. So it was actually really nice to see how Leica's take on mirrorless and what they really want to achieve. And with this, you know, SL2-S, I was absolutely blown away. I think it's an absolutely amazing camera. As you can see, you do not get the you know, the white Leica image branding, or whatever you want to call it, as you would on the SL2. This is the S variant, so it doesn't have that massive 40 megapixel sensor. This has a 24 megapixel sensor, and it's more orientated to photo and video creators. So if your if your primary thing is photography, I probably tend to look at the SL2. It's got that extra large, that bigger sensor, and it's more photography orientated. But that's saying that, that doesn't mean that the SL2-S cannot take amazing photos. I have been blown away by this system, the glass, the light of all the lenses in the SL range that I've had been very lucky to use. The 28mm on here, I'll just quickly say, I'm going to do a full review on it, but I mean, it's completely blown me away. I just think the images that I have taken from this camera have been really like, just good and absolutely fantastic. The tonal range is brilliant. The colours are what you would expect from a Leica camera, and I've just been really pleasantly surprised by this. Obviously this is a mirrorless system, so you don't have any of that shutter slap or any of that. It's not a rangefinder either, so you know, you put it up to your eye, you focus and you take a picture and you're done. Another interesting thing for me is obviously the EVF. Now, I know that everyone was raving about the EVF on this system. Again, like I said, in my job I have used quite a lot of mirrorless systems, but not for a long time, a couple of weeks, and that's been about it. And I've never really liked the EVF system. I guess it's because I've come from optical viewfinders and, again, rangefinders, and it's just what my personal preference is. But actually, having had used this camera for a long time and looking at the EVF, it is just an absolute breeze. Don't get me wrong, there are some slight things, like here for example, when I'm doing it, there is a slight wobble in the foreground, you know, so it's not perfect. But even comparing this EVF with the likes of the Q2, this is miles ahead in my opinion. Obviously it has the, if I've set it up, hang on, there we go. No, I'm on it on auto. It will do the traditional thing where you can view anything on the screen, and then when you put your eye up, it will close the thing, and it will close the screen, and then it will do that. And when you put your eye away, it will do that. That is a little sensor just in there. So if you want to just, you know, go like this and sort of be that sort of person that we see, like, and you can, you know, really good for like up high stuff, or like, you know, down low. Using this LCD screen has been absolutely brilliant. I say that person, I see people like this on the streets doing it in bits and pieces, and that's just not me. However, I did use this. I was taking a lovely photo of our little Japanese chin on the floor with a little bone, and I went straight to the floor on here, and having that screen, being able to look at it and see everything and how the photo is going to be framed, was extremely useful. So you know, there's a lot to be said for it, I have to admit. But obviously, as soon as if you want to you know, get close and like you normally would and put your eye up to it, it will block that screen out and bring all the images, all your composition through the EVF. Another really cool thing, if I just take a quick photo here, is that you could see the images there. But if it's like, say if it's like a really bright daylight and you can't see the screen, and you just want it to really make sure that you've got that good composition, you can actually look at your image inside the camera, and it gives you a preview of that image there, like the histogram and various bits and pieces like that. So again, I think that is absolutely fantastic, and it might have been in the Q series, the Q2 series. I definitely think it's in the 3, I imagine. But I think that's absolutely brilliant, especially for someone who, like, you know, you're doing sports, you're doing, you know, sort of wildlife, you know, sort of things, bits and pieces like that. You know, you might not be able to have full, you know, and good viewing of this LCD screen. So to be able to put the camera up and be able to see that in the electronic viewfinder has been absolutely, you know, mind-boggling to me. Weight-wise, I was really surprised how light this camera is, and you know, when I get my you know, my rangefinder here. This is the Leica ME with the 50mm on at the moment, and to be fair, okay, the SL is a little bit heavier with this 28, but you know, it's not far off. To be honest with you, it's not far off. So if you're thinking of going mirrorless and you want to either shoot streets or you just want to have like a sort of compact package, I mean, I think this combo here, a 28 or, you know, something like that, with the SLs are absolutely brilliant. What I will say is I'm a 50mm guy. The 50mm, which I've also got when I do a review on, is the Summilux SL, and that is absolutely gigantic. So if you're from the Leica rangefinder system, or you're from DSLRs and you want to go to the SL system, my preferred advice is that, I'm talking about weight as well, if you want like a good compact package that will do you good, but you don't want to be carrying an absolute ton of gear around with you, or you want just a camera and a lens combination that isn't too heavy, I would tend to look at the f2 range of lenses, purely because once you go up to the Summilux, so what I'm saying is you want to try and look for the Summicron SLs, purely because the Summilux range is absolutely, like, the heft of the lens, don't get me wrong, they're absolutely fantastic, they are the pinnacle of the S line, but it's just too heavy, for me personally. It's so heavy, and I actually found it quite top heavy as well, when you know, when you've got the camera like sort of round your neck. As you can see here, that you know, this combination with the 28 Summicron SL f2 spherical with the SL with no battery grip is an absolute, like, balanced to perfection camera. It really is a lovely camera. The autofocus, I've got to talk about the autofocus. A lot of people are saying, oh, I don't know about the autofocus and bits and pieces like that. I found it to be absolutely fantastic. It's never missed a beat. I have had it on the IAF, I believe Leica call it, so like Intelligent AF, and also AFC, and it's never missed a beat. There has been times where I've put it to my eye and I've had to give the camera a little bit of a wiggle just to make sure that everything's going alright, but apart from that, it is... this camera is absolutely brilliant. So if any of you are thinking of going from digital SLRs, from the rangefinder system, and you just think, do you know what, I want a system that I can rely on, it's weatherproof, you know, that doesn't weigh too much, but it's got, you know, all the technical advancement of anything else on the market. I would really recommend looking at the SL2 or the SL2-S. Obviously, if you want megapixels, the SL2 is the way to go. I now know Leica also do this camera, the SL2 in a silver, which would be quite interesting to see. I also want to know if the shutter button on here, I don't know if you can see it, is actually silver. So I wonder if they make the shutter button black on the silver edition, and when the whole body's silver, that'd be quite interesting to see. You know, I will say that the top plate of the camera is very like minimalist. You've got a ink display on there. I think that's what people call it now. And basically it's black and white mini top display. Just lets you know your ISO, your shutter speed, you know, all your various things that you need to know, and your batteries and bits and pieces like that. Also the top plate is, as I said, it's very clean. So don't know if you can see that. I'll probably get the... there we go. Is obviously there is no indications of what these buttons are, but basically this top button is your, I don't know if you can probably see that, but it is your that's because I'm in the menu, that's why it's not moving, is your aperture, sorry, your shutter speed, this one, and then the button on the back, there we go, is your aperture. So I'm a Nikon person and I'm used to having a sort of scroll wheel here to do aperture, but actually having everything on top here for shutter speed and aperture on the side is really handy. You know, it's just, you can instantly see it, the EVF, you can instantly see the results where you're going straight away. I just absolutely love it. And do you know what? I adore my Leica rangefinder system, I really do. However, I know as I get older, my eyesight will deteriorate, and I've heard a lot of people say this, that they go away from the rangefinder and go into like the SL system. I think this is an absolutely amazing camera. It's really blown me away, and it really goes to show what Leica can do in the mirrorless system, especially with a system that's designed for professional use. You know, I would, you know, this is the, you know, the, what is it called, the Z9 from the Nikon, or the, you know, the R1 from Canon. You know, this is Leica's flagship camera, and honestly, I mean, whoever wants this and gets this, you are not going to be disappointed. This camera has literally opened my eyes to what mirrorless should be, in my opinion, and it's just absolutely fantastic. But anyway guys, I probably rambled on way too much in this review. Thank you so much for all of the love and support on the channel, I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you next time with a load more reviews and Leica gear and bits and pieces. Anyway guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers!